Today, I'm going to talk to you about what I learned when I was building a successful home care business. So get your pen and paper and prepare to take some notes because it's about to go down. So my channel is all about inspiring, aspiring entrepreneurs and those that have already gotten started and may be a little stuck. So if you are chiming in for the first time, welcome, welcome, welcome. And those of you that are returning, you already know how I feel about you. Mwah! Number one, the nature of billable hours. What are billable hours? Billable hours are the hours that you are rendering service in the client's home. Example, Miss Betty has 40 hours a week. Your caregiver is there providing services 40 hours a week. That means you have 40 hours. If you have another client with 40 hours during the week, your caregiver is there providing services. That means 40 hours, 40 plus 40 equal 80. You have 80 billable hours. Now, side note, I have an internal goal for all of my clients to get at least 1,000 billable hours a week, because then I know that they are generating $1 million a year. Just a little side note. So it's very important, guys, to understand the nature of billable hours because they fluctuate. Yes, billable hours are not guaranteed. You can have a client that starts today and sign up and say, I want to start services on Monday, 40 hours a week, and you're excited. You start Monday, services stop on Tuesday. So you should constantly be out there marketing, building relationships, and doing all the things you need to grow your business because the hours fluctuate. Now, it could be Friday or, whatever the end of the week is for you. So say Sunday, right? It could be Sunday and you have 500 weekly billable hours. And you're like, okay, I have 500 billable hours. However, you could literally get a call Sunday night with someone that wants 24/7 care. And now that's 168 additional hours. Boom. Just like that. So now you're at 668 hours. So the hours fluctuate tremendously. I want you to be mindful of that so you don't get comfortable. I want you to stay in a state of uncomfortable because then you're constantly growing, and do not get stagnant. Don't start spending all your money because the hours fluctuate. Okay, so that's my tip number one from my experience. Number two, I'm going to say always be hiring. Consistency with onboarding new caregivers. What do I mean by that? What I mean is that just because you have 5 clients and you have 10 caregivers, don't think that that's okay. You have some caregivers, they're not going to wait while you find a client for them. They're going to go and register with another agency, right? Because everybody is PRN. Unless you're a large organization and you can guarantee hours. But again, that's because you constantly have those referrals coming in. You may be a large Medicaid business, so you constantly have those Medicaid hours coming in, right? So you want to always be hiring or most people say interviewing and onboarding and building your database. That's the key, guys. Building your database. So you always have caregivers that you can pull from as you grow. And super importantly is that if your caregiver calls out, you have a caregiver that you can pull to go and work with Miss Jones. So what? You don't lose some of those billable hours. You don't have clients that may be upset, disappointed, family members upset, disappointed. So it's really important to consistently be onboarding new caregivers. Number 3, I'm going to say stay abreast of your rules and regulations. Things are constantly changing, especially now. Things are changing. Think about all the things, those of you that are in Indiana. Woo, Lord Jesus, we went through a lot this year in Indiana, right? During the second quarter, third quarter, a lot of changes went on, right? So you want to be aware of the changes. So I personally recommend once a month. Some people may say, oh, that's overkill. I recommend once a month, especially if you're in a state that do not update their website. And you guys know if you're in one of them states, you want to call them. They may not be the nicest, right? However, they're busy. They may be overwhelmed, underworked, underpaid. That ain't our business. Our business is to mind our business, which means we need to call them and say, are there any updates or anything that I need to be aware of that may not be updated on the site? And then they'll say, nope, we update our site. Whenever a change happens, you go there, you're fine. Or they may say, yes, these are the changes. Let me email this to you, tell you, or whatever the case may be. So it is your responsibility to stay abreast of what's going on. So I'm going to say that's my number 3. Number 4, this one is huge, guys. I recommend that you stay ready for a survey. You ain't got to get ready because you always ready for your surveys. So do internal audits on your business. Check your client folders, check your caregiver folders, check and make sure you have, your discharge log. Make sure you have visitation log. Whatever your state requires, make sure you have them. Make sure you have your policies and procedures printed in a binder. Make sure you have your complaint log, your incident log, call out log, whatever it is that your state requires. Make sure you have those things in place and create some type of checklist so you can literally audit yourself. And then that way you can course correct. You're like, okay, we haven't been doing this. We need to do this. We've been collecting TB tests, however, not on everyone. Those that have history of positive PPD, we need a chest x-ray. When does the chest x-ray expire? How long is it good for? All these different things, guys, you need to make sure you have in order, right? So let me recap that real quick. So I'm going to say, number 1, make sure you understand your billable hours. Number 2 is consistency with caregivers. Make sure you constantly have a flow of caregivers coming in. And then I'm going to say number 3 is staying abreast of your rules and regulations for your state. And last but not least, baby, I want you to make sure that you are managing your business by doing internal surveys. Super duper important, guys. So we're going to throw a number 5. This is a bonus for you. Organization. That's huge with growing your business. Make sure when you do the audit, prior to the audit, after the audit, that you're organized, that your stuff is in order so it's easily to get to, especially if you freak out. I know a lot of nurses be like, oh, Jaco coming to the hospital, the nursing home. Think about it like that, but you want to always be survey ready. Hashtag always be survey ready. So guys, if you haven't gotten your ticket for conference, get your ticket. We got a special going on right now. So go to homecarecoaching.com and click on events from the menu. Take care. God bless. Like the video, subscribe, and let's converse in the comments below. Let me know what you think and what you're doing to stay ready. Take care, guys. God bless.